James, this Saturday we play another tough game against Colorado. As a player, how do you prepare both mentally and physically for this match?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one because obviously we just played them, 5 days ago, so it's not too often that happens. But mentally, you kind of just have to forget about the last game and move on to the next one. There was good things and there was bad things in the last game, so now we move on. It's totally a fresh start and a new chance to try and go and get a win. And then physically, it's just like any other game week. Typically we have 7 days before a game. That's what we had this week. So I think we're going to be prepared physically. That won't be a problem.
So last Saturday we played them again, and it ended up in a draw. What has been the focus this week as we head into Saturday?
Well, the focus on this week is to try and get over the line and get a win. Instead of last week, we gave up a late goal that kind of stopped us from getting all 3 points. And so this week, the idea is to play for a full 90 plus minutes to ensure that we win the game and don't give up points to them again.
Ray or Alfredo, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead.
Hello, James. Ray from South Texas Border Sports. I've got to ask you, you guys were able to contain the league's leading scorer in Haji Berry. What was the key to holding them without a shot on target and specifically without a goal that kind of enabled you guys to just play with that type of control and hopefully this week try to replicate that once again and hopefully come out with the 3?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know Barry and we know what he's capable of. It's, he's the leading goal scorer in the league. So that was something we had to acknowledge going into the game. And kind of in order to contain him for last week, we just focused on having a full defensive effort, always knowing where he was on the field and stuff like that. Obviously, we know he's dangerous around the goal. And so, yeah, just as an entire team, focusing on putting in a team effort to defend, not just him either, they got some other dangerous guys too. So we really had to focus on really locking in defensively and, containing them as much as they can and limiting their chances as much as we possibly can. And hopefully going into this weekend, we can do the same thing.
And the last one I wanted to get your reaction on, you guys played with the man up the entire second half. What was that mentality like going into that second half, playing with the man up and getting an eventual advantage? What's been that focus on that you guys were able to be somewhat fluid, but yet you guys were able to give up some of the possession before eventually giving up that equalizer late on?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously when you go a man up, you have a numerical advantage right away, and that's something you're supposed to take advantage of, which I think, we did to an extent. Obviously, we got our goal to go 1-0 up in the game. And then, when you're winning a game late and, the other team, obviously, no matter how many numbers are on the field, are going to push to try and get that equalizer. And, there's circumstances out there in Chicago, the altitude and stuff like that. And maybe we were feeling a little tired towards the end, but I think that's just a natural part of the game. They were hunting for a goal and we were trying to hold on to the lead. And unfortunately, they ended up getting their chance at the end and they scored. But this week we'll be prepared for everything. So hopefully we can keep a 0 at the back and not let that happen again.
Hey, James, Alfredo Sanchez from Hechos Valle. I wanted to ask you in regards to the integration of Frank Lopez. How's that been in the offensive end for you guys?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, Frank's a capable player. He's played in the league for a good few years now, and he's scored a good amount of goals. So it was a welcome addition to the team. And, he hasn't been here too long, so it's been a kind of quick adjustment period to getting used to having him around the group. Same thing. He has to get used to being around us. But it's definitely been a good addition. And, we know what his qualities are. And I think he's kind of realized what the rest of the team has in terms of personnel and stuff like that. So we're going to keep trying to gel with him, and the other guys that have came in, in the last few weeks, and hopefully all those guys, and especially Frank, can, you know, help us on the field.
In regards to the environment right now, obviously the last time that the team has won was August the 4th. And ever since then, it's been an up and down kind of series. How do you guys kind of adjust to finding that motivation, that spark, in order to make sure that you guys come out with, you know, bringing the A game every single game, despite what the results have been in the past?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's tough when you're going through kind of rocky period. Obviously, we haven't had a win in a few games. You know, it's tough on the ego and it's tough on the mentality, but it's not really a problem with our team. We go out and we focus on winning games every single week, you know, with our eyes towards making the playoffs. You know, we've had some games where we haven't performed at our best. We've had some games where we've been unlucky, you know, last weekend, and then also a few weeks back against El Paso, conceding very late goals to kind of give up the game. And so, you know, that's tough to take all the time, but we're still 100% focused and 100% motivated to win games. I think we've got 8 or 9 games left, and we don't see why we can't go win a majority of those games and, you know, make that push towards the end of the season.
And my last question for you is, obviously this upcoming weekend, the team celebrates Hispanic heritage. How is that gonna kind of motivate or even spark the team, just having that crowd of the Hispanic audience and the crowd being there to support you guys, especially on a special occasion?
Yeah, look, I think that's a great occasion for the team and a great occasion for the whole Valley. Obviously, in the team alone, we have multiple players with Hispanic backgrounds, and the Valley, you know, has plenty of Hispanic heritage. So I think the more fans, the better. It's going to be a great occasion for them to come and enjoy themselves and enjoy the game. And I think the more fans that are there, the more motivated we'll get. So, you know, we're calling on whoever wants to come out and enjoy the game and enjoy a really special night. And hopefully we can get on the field and, you know, give them something to celebrate on the field also.
All right. Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Thank you, James.